Back in the castle, Rain is upset about his father giving the black blade to someone of unknown lineage. Rain's father found the sword in the deepest part of the Dungeon of the Lost. It was an incredibly dangerous quest that yielded the strange sword. The blade is made of an unknown material that is harder than any other. No matter what they tried, nothing could even make a scratch on the sword. Because of this, it came to be known as the Unbreakable Blade. The blade was already pretty beaten up when it was found, so it made everyone question what kind of powerful force could have made it look the way it does. The sword has unthinkable value, so Rain can't understand how the king just gave it away like he did. Rain changes his way of thinking and realizes a sense of unrest is hanging over their country. In all likelihood, Rain determines that his father must be counting on Noor for some reason. Noor is the one who defeated a Minotaur all alone and saved Lin's life, so it is possible that he might be a secret weapon for whatever is coming in the future. Elsewhere, we find Noor with Lin. Noor wonders if it is okay for Lin to be just out like this, but Lin points out that she is an adventurer first. Lin refers to him as her instructor, but Noor wishes she wouldn't. Noor's attempts to clear things up have failed, and Lin just keeps following him everywhere. Noor plans to get some job from the guild. That way Lin will eventually see what kind of person he really is. At the guildmaster wonders why Noor is with the princess, but Lin tells him to call her by her name because she is an adventurer right now. Guildmaster realizes that he shouldn't stick his nose into others' business, and Noor explains that they are looking for a job which requires 2 people. Lin is a silver B rank, so if the 2 of them form a party, then they can take a goblin hunting job just outside the city. Noor is shocked by this, because goblins are the monsters that adventurers use to put their skills to the test. Noor can't believe that he will be able to take a job outside the city, but Noor feels bad for taking advantage of Lin's adventurer rank. This would be especially bad, because Noor only has tried to get rid of her this entire time. Noor wonders if she would really be okay with it, so Lin excitedly says that she would be honored to form a party with him. Noor feels a bit of shame, but he gets over it because one of his dreams is about to come true. Noor eagerly goes to start the job, but he quickly returns because Guildmaster hasn't told him anything about it yet. Guildmaster warns that while it is a low-rank job, that doesn't mean it won't be dangerous. It will take place in the Forest of Beasts, and they have to bring back the ear of a goblin as proof of a successful hunt. They won't get compensated without the ear, so it is very important. It has been reported that the goblin numbers have been dwindling, so there is a chance that they won't find any goblins. If that happens, Guildmaster tells them to just pick some herbs and bring them back. The 2 leave the city and excitedly tell each other to do their best. As they walk through the forest, Noor asks Lin to tell him about goblins. Lin explains that they hunt small animals as prey and eat the fruits of trees. However, they have been aggressively attacking humans for sustenance recently. If they continue to grow in number, then it will lead to a food shortage for them, and they will likely begin invading human villages. That is why adventurers have been trying to control their numbers. On the other hand, the forest relies on the goblins too, so it is also not good to hunt them completely. Lin clearly has a lot of knowledge, so this just makes Noor realize even more that he has nothing to teach her. Lin keeps checking to see if there are any goblins near them, but they haven't found anything. Normally they would have encountered at least one, so Lin determines that the rumors about their low numbers are true. Just then Lin senses a monster nearby. They go to check, but the forest just keeps getting darker and darker. The tall trees block the sunlight, but the goblins prefer living in places like this. Lin surprisingly stops and reveals that the monster's presence just disappeared. Noor assumes that the monster has just passed away from old age, but they are shocked when they find that the goblin was destroyed. Lin quickly uses reveal magic, and it exposes a giant monster that was eating the other goblin. Noor is shocked to hear that the giant is a goblin as well, because goblins are supposed to be the weakest monster. The giant clearly looks like a goblin, and it even treats some nearby trees like weapons. Noor is so clueless that he assumes that this is what goblins really look like in person, versus what he has heard about them. Not only that, Noor figures that other adventurers can handle them like nothing. Lin is clearly terrified, and Noor doesn't blame her, because Lin doesn't have any combat experience. Noor assures her that they will be fine, and declares that they are only fighting against the goblin. Noor is actually terrified, but Noor knows that he can't think about that if he wants to win. Lin knows that this goblin is the Goblin Emperor, and it is considered an extreme threat. The Goblin Emperor is a monster, created from genetic manipulation by man, and the research behind it is now banned. What makes it really terrifying is that it eats its own kind to absorb that power and grow stronger. Lin thinks about how Nor said they're only fighting a goblin, and she is amazed by his confidence. Lin is just as clueless as Nor, as she now thinks that Nor came to this area on purpose. Lin thinks that the reason Nor was so excited about this job was because Nor wanted to eliminate the threat that no one knew about. Lin gained some confidence because of this, so the two of them prepare to fight. The giant goblin tries to strike first, but Nor masterfully uses his parry skill to repel him. The goblin is incredibly powerful, so it manages to push Nor back. Nor can tell that it's trying to corner him, but Nor refuses to let it. Nor knocks the goblin off balance and tells Lin to follow up with some magic. Lin does, but the goblin proves to be too fast to hit. Just then Nor rescues Lin, as the goblin starts launching trees at them, and Nor keeps using parry to deflect them. Lin knows that she has to do something before things get worse, but Lin is shocked when she notices that the goblin's wound is gone. Not even the Goblin Emperor should be able to recover this quickly, so Lin determines that it must have something to do with the mana crystal on the goblin's forehead. Lin tells Nor that if he can knock it off the goblin, then they might have a chance to win. Their plan is interrupted when the goblin launches a cluster of trees at Nor. Nor is stunned to see how many there are, and Nor realizes that this goblin is watching him to see how many he can parry. Nor fears that he won't be able to parry them all, but luckily Lin deflects them away with magic. The goblin heals again, so Lin is more sure than ever that it is replenishing its power with the mana stone. The two quickly realize that at this rate, they are just going to run out of stamina and magic while they try to keep up. Just then Nor comes up with an idea and tells Lin to use her wind blast attack on his back. Lin refuses to attack Nor because her wind blast is powerful enough to demolish castle walls. Nor won't be able to survive no matter how strong he is, but Nor explains that she won't be attacking him directly. Nor plans to have her hit the sword while it is on his back, because the only chance they have at beating the goblin is to go faster than him. Time is running out as the monster prepares to attack again, so Lin agrees to do it. Lin's wind blast is insanely powerful as it launches Nor across the battlefield, and he nearly passes out. Nor composes himself and enhances his body. This combination allows Nor to break through the goblin's defenses and knock the crystal out of its forehead. The Goblin Emperor loses his mind, and Lin says that she recovered the stone. Nor tells her to finish off the goblin, but also asks her to make sure that it doesn't feel much pain. Lin seemingly doesn't listen to that last part, as she sets Goblin Emperor on fire and it screams in agony. Once the fire is over, Nor apologizes to the goblin and decides that he won't be slaying goblins anymore for a while. Nor realizes that he shouldn't be putting himself in dangerous situations, so he will move on to the next challenge, only after he has trained more and gotten stronger. A while later Rain is informed of the Goblin Emperor that was spotted. The Emperors are several times stronger than the Goblin Kings, so Rain can't even imagine how strong it was, since it also had a powerful mana crystal on its forehead. Rain fears that the stone came from the demon heart, and he wonders who could have been behind it. Then Rain is shocked to hear that Nor and Lin were able to defeat it, while only suffering minor injuries. Several strange incidents like this one have started occurring, so the guild has opened an investigation to find out what's going on. Back at the guildmaster is shocked that the little kid from years ago has turned into a goblin-slaying beast. Nor is very humble about it, as he gives a lot of credit to Lin, but Nor also decides that he should celebrate his first day of hunting. It might not seem like much to others, but his first day is a big deal to him. Hearing about the mana stone on the goblin makes Guildmaster wonder if what they fought was really a goblin. Nor is pretty sure that it was, and Lin just goes along with whatever her instructor says. Then Guildmaster asks for the goblin's ear so he can pay Nor for the job. Nor looks at Lin with a grim face, as they now have to explain that they don't have the ear, because they burnt the giant goblin to the ground. At the castle, Rain realizes from some documents that an enemy has encroached deep into his country. Rain urgently orders for troops to go to certain areas, and he even summons all 6 sovereigns. Rain is upset at himself for not figuring out this sooner, and he curses the Magic Empire for going this far. They want the dungeon's resources, and they clearly don't care about taking innocent lives. Rain is furious because the Magic Empire is coming to demolish the country. Back with our boy, we learn that the Guildmaster did Nor a favor. Nor didn't bring back the goblin ear, but the Guildmaster still compensated Nor in celebration of his first hunt. Nor and Lin finish up their celebration feast, and she decides to head home for the day. Lin wonders if that is okay with her teacher, so Nor says it's fine and thanks Lin for her help. Just then Rain appears and apologizes for having an urgent request. Rain asks Noor to take Lin to the mountains the next morning, and even offers to give them transportation. Rain can't give any details, but Noor can tell that this is serious, so he agrees to help. The next morning Noor thinks about how the real reason he agreed to go on this journey was so that he could finally see what it's like to be on a carriage. Noor has never traveled away from the capital, so the traveling is more precious to him than the money he is being paid to take Lin. Noor is also really excited, because soon he will even be able to travel to different countries. Noor can tell that Lin is uneasy, so he tells her to enjoy the scenery with him. Then Noor thinks about how his dream is to become a normal adventurer and journey on his own. Lin apologizes for Noor having to take her, but Noor just says that he owes her for helping him with the goblin hunt. A moment earlier Rain instructed them to head towards the mountains and wait for a while. If nothing strange happens, then they will proceed to a place called Mitra. Lin hopes that nothing will happen, so Ines tells her not to worry because she is there. However, we learn that Ines has secret orders from Rain. Rain warned that the royal capital would fall into a crisis very soon. If she receives a report that the capital has been destroyed, then she will have to take Noor and Lin to Mitra. Ines refused to leave the capital during an emergency, but Rain reminded her that her main duty is to protect Lin. Ines apologizes to Noor for getting caught up in the situation, but he still just thinks of it as a simple trip. Noor can tell that Ines is worried about something, so she explains that protecting him is another one of her responsibilities. Ines tells Noor not to worry about anything, but Noor isn't worried at all. Noor intends to protect himself if anything happens, and he is confident that he can run away if needed. Then Noor is shocked to hear that Ines has a shield, even though it doesn't look like it. Ines reveals that it is a shield of light, and she instructs Noor to hide behind it if anything happens. The shield is incredibly strong since neither weapon nor magic can get through it. Then Noor thinks about the guy he fought at the castle, but he can't remember his name and just calls him Armadillo. According to what Lin told him, Gilbert is so talented that he was able to bring down a dragon on his own. Ines is just as strong as that guy, so Noor assumes that they are on a whole another level compared to him. Noor compliments her, so Ines tells Noor about her past. Ines was taken into an orphanage when she was young, and this was when she first realized that there was a mysterious power within her. Ines didn't know what was going on, and one little girl hurt herself. By touching Ines's mysterious power, Ines showed her powers to the sovereigns, and it became clear that it was a gift from the heavens. It was a historically rare one, as it could become a blade to cut anyone down, or a shield that could protect against anything. Depending on how Ines used it, it could easily allow her to annihilate even an entire country. Ines was taken in by one of the heroes named Dandalk, and she learned from all 6 sovereigns how to use her power. Ines could never get over the fear of hurting someone again with her power, so she distanced herself from everyone. That wouldn't last forever, and the reason why had something to do with why she was shocked to hear Noor's name. One day Dandalk was training Ines, and he was informed that another group of monsters were approaching. The situation was getting pretty bad, and under his breath Dandalk wished that Noor was still around. Ines heard him, but Dandalk just told her to forget what he said. This Noor person was someone that Ines's adopted father recognized, and she was envious of this mysterious person. Ines' envy has only grown since meeting Noor. Ines refuses to let her emotions cloud her judgment, so she once again vows to protect Lin with her life. Just then everyone notices a strange path in the field, and Lin uses her uncovered spell to reveal a monster. Back at the royal capital, the king acknowledges that the attack has begun, and he is informed that they don't have enough soldiers to fight all the monsters that have appeared. Rain takes charge and comes up with a plan to combat the monsters and evacuate the citizens. The king curses Darius for making a move on his threat, and he fears that this is just the beginning. Then Rain informs the king that the 6 sovereigns have been dispatched all across the capital. Nearby we see a group being attacked by giant goblins, and Dandalk arrives to help them. Then we get a glimpse of the other heroes arriving on the battlefield. The situation is getting more dangerous by the minute, but Rain finds comfort in knowing that at least Lin is safe. Back with Lin we see that there was a kid with the dragon, and he was determined to eliminate someone. When Lin shattered the dragon's barrier, the dragon shoved the kid away. Ines recognizes the black dragon, so she wonders why a ferocious monster would be out there. Ines tries to stop Noor as he springs into action, but it is too late as he confronts the dragon. Noor fights off the monster, but Ines points out that the kid Noor is protecting was already with the monster before they arrived. A moment ago Rain told Lin about demon folks. They are demi-humans who have the special ability to establish a mental bond with monsters at will. According to Rain, they are closer to monsters than humans. These demi-humans manipulated powerful monsters, and they nearly destroyed the city of Mitra, so they were hunted by humans. They were thought to be extinct, but it seems like their descendants are somehow still alive. Rain warned Lin to run if she never saw one, because they surely have a serious hate for humans. Ines assured that this kid is manipulating the dragon and was probably planning to bring the vicious monster to the royal capital. Ines explains that the kid seemed to lose control of the dragon when the barrier broke, and Ines is shocked that Noor rushed in to help without thinking twice. Ines is angry, as she thinks Noor is being foolish, and Ines wonders who Noor thinks he is. Lin thinks they should help him, but Ines surprisingly refuses to help Noor. Noor continues to fight, but he calls the dragon a frog and thinks about how it is not nearly as strong as the goblin he fought. Noor plans to hold on until the girls arrive for backup, but the monster prepares a dragon breath. The kid will get hurt if he dodges, so Noor attacks the monster instead. Something terrible happens as the black liquid starts coming out of Noor's body, and Ines explains that this is the true horror of the dragon. Noor can instantly tell that he has been afflicted by poison, and now he can't move his body. This dragon eliminates everything comes into contact with, which is why it is called the Black Death Dragon. Lin tries to help Noor when the dragon goes to attack again, but Ines stops her because even a bigger poisonous breath is coming. Lin demands that Ines let her go, but Ines declares that her duty is to protect Lin at all costs. If she can hold back the dragon's attack somehow, then at the very least Lin will be able to escape. Then Ines declares that Lin's survival is the only chance they will have to revive the kingdom. Lin still tries to argue with her, so Ines explains that even just one breath of the poisonous gas is fatal, and even the hero's healing wouldn't be able to save Noor. The dragon unleashes its poison, so Ines protects Lin with her shield and promises to keep her alive. Lin's purification isn't working, and birds begin to fall from the sky. Ines apologizes to Noor because she originally wanted to protect anyone in danger, but her duty to the kingdom must come first. Just then girls are startled when a dragon claw falls in front of them. They can't understand what's going on, and they are shocked when they see that Noor is still fighting the dragon. Noor is in really bad shape, and Ines wonders if this determination is why Dandald wishes that Noor was still around. Now Ines realizes that Noor isn't foolish at all. Noor is actually the exact kind of person she always looked up to and chased after, doing whatever it takes to protect someone and being a true shield. Unfortunately, it seems like Noor is at his limit, and this is proven to be true when the next attack from the dragon sends Noor crashing to the ground. Surprisingly, Noor is relieved for some reason, and Noor says that he will be able to make this work out after all. Then we see a group of imprisoned children. They were considered cursed because they were born with the power to control magical beasts. They were called worthless children, and they were barely fed. One child in particular thought that the purpose of their power was to control livestock. However, one of these demi-humans used their power to control monsters during the war and eliminated a lot of people. Humans began to hate the demon folk, and they were hunted down. The one kid in prison was tormented relentlessly, and any attempts to speak were met with more attacks. This child also had the power to read people's minds, but this just made things much worse for him when the humans found out. No matter how poorly he was treated, this kid never once thought about retaliating. Even though he hated everything that was being done to him, this kid never wanted to think about hurting anyone. However, one day, the guy in charge of the prison told the kid to take some monsters. The guy told him that demon folk could be useful to people, and if the kid listened to him, then he would never be tormented again. The guy would let him eat whatever he wanted, and that would also go for all the other children as well. However, if he didn't listen, then things would get much worse for them. The kid couldn't read the guy's mind because he was wearing a device on his head, but he decided to trust him and end everyone's torment. A while later, this kid headed to the capital with the intent to eliminate everyone on the guy's orders. However, this was when Lin destroyed the barrier. The kid apologized to everyone because he had failed, and he was prepared for his life to end. Kid ended up not helping anyone at all, but he was at least relieved to have never hurt anyone either. Kid was happy to leave the world in this way, and he just hoped that if he were reborn, he wouldn't get beaten so badly in his next life. He hoped that he would be useful to someone, and said goodbye to this world. However, this was the moment when Noor rescued him. The kid couldn't understand why someone was fighting for him, and he became concerned for Nor when he was struck by the dragon's poison. The kid was afflicted by poison as well, but Nor did something, and the kid's bleeding shockingly stopped. Surprisingly, whatever Nor did also kept the kid away from getting poisoned again. The battle intensified just like we saw before, and Nor was relieved after being defeated for some reason. Another look back, we see something else Nor did after returning from the training schools in the royal capital. Nor made a soup from some herbs he gathered, but something turned out to be poisonous. Nor was in big trouble, as he could only use his low heal ability, and Nor could barely move. After a long night of pain, Nor eventually dragged himself to drink some water. A book on herbs revealed which was the poisonous one, so Nor tried to go back to training his parry ability. Unfortunately, Nor's body was still suffering from the effects of the poison, so he had to use his low healing ability again. After another day, Nor was shocked to see that he was finally feeling better. Nor eventually found the poisonous plant again, but he knew better this time. Unfortunately, Nor had terrible luck, and a highly poisonous snake bit him. Shockingly, the effects were off very quickly. Nor wanted to test something out, so he ate the snake, and was shocked to see that the poison barely affected him. The next day, Nor poisoned himself with another snake, but the poison spread slowly, and Nor realized that he had built a tolerance to the poison. Nor figured that this could lead him to acquire a new skill, and he developed a taste for poisonous things. As Nor began eating more poisonous things, he collapsed on occasion, but overall Nor was able to digest most of the poisons. Nor never acquired any skills from this, but he could eat poisonous things, at the cost of vomiting a small amount of blood. This was only a small price to pay, because Nor loved the taste of poisonous things. That is why back in the present, Nor is determined that this giant poisonous frog will be delicious. It turns out that Nor just couldn't counteract the poison in time, which is why he spewed out a little bit of blood. However, Nor knows from years of experience that much blood is no big deal. Nor is glad to see that his low heal ability protected the kid, and he goes right back to fighting the frog. The kid is stunned to see that Nor can take on such a horrible monster all by himself, and Nor surprisingly starts pushing the monster back. Everyone is terrified when the monster takes in a bunch of air for its next attack. Nor sees what is coming, as it is obvious that the dragon is about to use its almighty final strike. Nor is pretty fearless, and he uses parry to make the dragon send this attack straight into the sky. Everyone is stunned by what they just witnessed, and the dragon is defeated. There is something suspicious about this monster being so close to the city, but all Nor can think about is how this poisonous frog is probably really tasty. Nor goes to check on the kid, who reveals that he was the one who brought the monster. Nor is shocked when the kid says he is going to bring the frog to the city, but Nor thinks that this means the frog was meant to be delivered as food. Bringing the animal alive would be the best way to make fresh food in the city, and Nor thinks that the kid was concealing himself, so no one would rob him the valuable frog. Nor has the situation all wrong, as he begins to think that the poor kid probably raised the frog himself so that he could sell it. His misunderstanding gets worse, as Nor now thinks that he ruined the delivery of the kid's precious stock to the city. Nor apologizes profusely, and promises to pay the kid back for the frog. The kid says there is no need to pay him back, and reveals that he was able to bring the monster out here by controlling it. Nor is amazed that such a tiny kid could control a giant frog, and he wonders if there are more people with such a skill. The kid has never heard it called a skill before, and Nor is shocked to learn that this kid had this power since he was born. Nor determines that it is an ability gifted by the gods, and the kid stumbles on his words as he nervously reveals that he is demon folk. All demon folk have this ability, so Nor assumes that it is actually nothing too special. Nor always wondered what he would do if he had this ability, and all Nor could ever think of was ways to help people. The kid is surprised that Nor isn't afraid of him for being demon folk, and he wonders why Nor doesn't hate him. Kid reveals that everyone he has ever met has hated him for having this power, but Nor can't understand why. Nor tells him to ignore what everyone has told him, because this ability of his is incredibly useful. The kid is stunned to hear that he can be useful, and Nor says that he wishes he had this ability. The kid breaks down in disbelief, and he wonders if someone like him could be needed. Nor thinks about how unlike himself this kid was born with an ability, so he wonders how the kid could feel so useless. The kid begins to cry, so Nor assures him that there are plenty of people that could use his help. The girls finally arrive, and Lin frantically offers to treat Nor's wounds. The girls are stunned when Nor explains that he has already healed, and is pretty strong against poison. Lin can't believe it because the poison from the monster was extremely dangerous, and it was a miasma that even ruined the soil in its path. Taking a direct hit from it and still being alive is extremely hard to believe. Lin realizes that there can only be one explanation. One of the heroes once told her about something called the sacred spirit. By haunting one's body like a saint, a person can gain the ability to use a technique that purifies everything it touches and heals all wounds. However, the hero was only able to achieve this perfect technique after years of unconventional training. It took the hero 40 years to reach this power, but Noor is still so young. Noor wants Lin to tend to the kid's wounds, and she can instantly tell from his appearance that he is demon folk. Noor explains that he wants to take the kid with them, but the girls are fearful. Demon folk are a dangerous race, and many countries recommend eliminating them on sight. The girls warn Noor about the danger, but Noor wants to pay the kid back for destroying his frog. Lin points out that it was a black death dragon, and she is shocked to hear that the kid was planning to bring it to the city. The girls want to know who is making the kid do this, but Kid doesn't know anything about the guy. Then Ines realizes that this kid was a slave. Slaves are banned in the Clay's kingdom, but that isn't the case in other countries. Lin asked the kid where he was from, but he was blindfolded on his way here, and Kid didn't know much about the city he was in. Then Noor tells the girls that he would like to give the kid a ride to the nearest city. Lin thinks about how her father always warned her to not be misled by rumors and to trust her own eyes. Lin realizes that she was looking at this kid as just being part of a dangerous race, but in reality, he is just a kid with nowhere to go. Lin is ashamed of herself, and the kid introduces himself as Rollo. Lin wants to take Rollo too now, but Ines is hesitant. Demon folk are not allowed to enter Mitra, so it will be difficult to take him with them. However, it will also be difficult for Rollo to survive if they just leave him alone. It is a pretty difficult decision, because Mitra might consider them enemies when they arrive, and they might be attacked. Just then their difficult decision is interrupted, when a mysterious man appears, and he is obviously very dangerous. So now what will happen next? Subscribe to our channel to find out what will happen next. So friends, if you liked our recap video, then please like and share this video and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.